It's early 2021, COVID markets are starting to recover, and you've heard a little bit about crypto and NFTs. Naturally, this piques your interest on what Bitcoin is, and you start learning about Bitcoin, Ethereum, NFTs, and altcoins. When you're doing this research, you hear about these crazy stories of people making their first million off of buying Bitcoin early, or maybe even people making life-changing gains on purchasing Ethereum early. From all this, you decide to make a few investments early in 2021, maybe even buy one NFT, but what you don't realize is by the end of that year, those gains are going to be life-changing for you. Now, if you're watching this video here with me today, you've probably heard a story like this. I think we've all heard a similar story of someone making life-changing gains in the previous markets. The real question is though, if you are broke in today's economy, how are you going to make life-changing gains right now in the future bull market coming in mid-2025? When I come across this question, I really think of three possible avatars that you could be and what those avatars should do to get themselves out of a broke scenario and into a more wealthy scenario around the time when the bull market peak is going to come around either mid or late 2025, maybe even early 2026. The first of these three avatars is going to be the person who simply makes enough money, but they have problems allocating the money correctly. So they make enough money, they might make six figures or upper five figures, but they have poor, terrible spending habits, and at the end of the month, they have no money left over to put into crypto, which makes them not as wealthy as they could be. They own no assets, they own no crypto, and they own nothing, and they have no idea how to get from where they are to the point of where they're investing in crypto, saving in crypto, and changing these habits and accumulating wealth over the bull market. This person particularly needs to set up two things: a financial strategy and a budget. By doing these things, they can understand where they're spending their money, what kind of expenses and waste are being caused in their budget, and then reallocating all those funds into cryptos. The crypto strategy that this first avatar would likely want to pursue, because they are simply making enough money, they don't need super high risk. They would just simply want to have either a Bitcoin only strategy, a Bitcoin and Ethereum only strategy, or a Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the top layer one strategy. So that third option is more like having a little bit of Bitcoin, having a little bit of Ethereum, and having maybe Cardano or Solana, whatever top layer one that really interests you the most. But basically you want to stick within like the top 10 or 15 or 20 cryptos by market cap today. Using this strategy, you not only de-risk yourself by using some of the safest assets in crypto, but you also use assets that are time and tested over in previous markets, and you can relatively easily continue to DCA in them and not really worry about gaining huge returns or monitoring your portfolio like very consistently. This strategy is all about making money, investing the money, and forgetting about it until 2025 rolls around. If you are not in this first scenario and you are in this scenario like many of us who are trying to turn $100 into a couple of $100,000 over the next bull market, don't worry, I have two more scenarios for what you should do with your money. Now, our second avatar is going to be the person who is broke, does not have enough money, maybe it's a couple hundred or a couple thousand on the low end of the couple thousand to invest, and they are trying to go for the Hail Mary. First disclaimer I'd like to say about the Hail Mary is that this second avatar needs to know a few things. One, the Hail Mary is never a good option. Two, in order to make the Hail Mary a good option, you need a lot of time investing, and you need to be a really experienced investor normally, okay? The third catch-22 of both of these first 2 points is that usually the investors with the most experience are the investors who have the ability to lose the money. So this second avatar is kind of in a catch-22 lose-lose scenario, but they are trying to take a couple $100 and turn it into a Hail Mary. If this is you and you don't want to bother with the third option and you want to stick with this Hail Mary option, there's a couple things I would tell you to avoid. First thing I would tell you to do is avoid NFTs or like crazy AI tokens or gaming tokens, stuff without product, stuff without feasibility, stuff that's not having like, you know, a good long-term backing. Kind of avoid this stuff. The thing that I would think you would majorly be able to make a profit on is trends. If you're going to look for the Hail Mary, you might as well look like for the Hail Mary that everyone else is looking for, and I do not think that this is the best option for investing your money. I think the third option is the best option for investing your money, but if you are going to look for a Hail Mary, you might as well be very attentive to the crypto market and the crypto news. Take notice of what's going on, take notice of the trends that are happening, what meme coins are popping up, what narratives are popping up, whether it's, you know, Ethereum L2s, Cardano, L1s, Cardano DeFi, Ethereum DeFi, maybe gaming DeFi on a specific chain. If you are paying attention to some of the news out there, you might be able to jump on trends faster than everyone else, and you might be able to find like newer L1s quicker than other people, or you might be able to go into an L1 ecosystem like an Aptos, a Sui, Solana, Cardano, and find the next DeFi application that's going to pop off. So if you are literally going to go for the Hail Mary, you might as well know what trends are out there, and you might as well use those trends to your best advantage. The best way I know how to do this is to just consume as much crypto news as you can. Try not to let it affect your emotions, but you gotta be on Twitter, you gotta be on Reddit, you gotta be on crypto news, and you gotta know what's happening in markets and try and understand to make a best guess. But most likely what you're gonna probably end up doing is turning the couple $100s into a couple thousand, or just losing it all completely. The third and final avatar of this scenario is the one who is broke currently but knows that the Hail Mary is not a good option. So when you mature to this level of investor, yes, you might not have a whole lot of money, but you definitely know that the Hail Mary is not for you. This actively makes you look for a better crypto strategy, which will put you light years ahead of the game over time. This crypto investor wants to take a safe to risky strategy. They want to have all layers of diversification, and technically diversification is not one of the greatest things to get wealth. A lot of people get wealth doing one thing, but very few people get insanely wealthy, like tens and hundreds of millions of wealthy through just investing. A lot of people have to start businesses or do things to leverage their money in other ways and earn more money to then invest more money. But if we're just talking about crypto investing, you're gonna wanna diversify over a few asset classes. In stocks, traditionally, the investors that do best are the ones who invest in the large cap stocks. So my recommendation for this third avatar is to invest into the large cap stocks, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, or something like a Cardano, or a top 10 L1. What I would suggest is to start investing in these things currently, right now, today, and setting up a weekly DCA or a bi-weekly DCA strategy where you're consistently investing money in, whether it be $10 or $100 a week, $10 or $100 a month, whatever you can afford to do, but start investing money into these things and using them as kind of like a savings account. From there, I would take this money, and as the market continues to mature into the bull market, start moving some of the gains that you make from those into some medium cap crypto. So an example of this would be you're investing into Bitcoin right now kind of as a savings account at $10 a week. After a couple months, when we get kind of close to the Bitcoin halving, you notice that this money has turned into a couple $100, and you decide, hey man, that's really great. I'm gonna take some of this funds, maybe 25%, 30%, 50%, and I'm gonna move it into Cardano, because I like Cardano as an L1. From there, you might let that Cardano ADA grow a little bit, and as we get into 2025, you're like, man, that ADA has done really well. It's appreciated in value. I'm really happy with the gains I made off my Bitcoin and my ADA. From there, you might take 50% of this ADA that you have and move it into some L1s like a LenFi on Cardano or a DEX on Cardano to accumulate some of those low cap tokens. So now you have a little bit of large cap, a little bit of mid cap, and a little bit of low cap coins that you've slowly accumulated and gotten accustomed to. And by now your portfolio is worth thousands of dollars after all of this appreciation and all the money that you're still putting in. Another scenario of this might look like you're investing into Bitcoin or you're investing into Ethereum, and you're using this as a savings account. As the market continues to move into the halving, you move some of those funds into something like a Cardano or a Solana, another L1 that you think is really good, but it's definitely not a blue chip yet. As the market continues to develop into 2025, you're like, those gains are really great and I've had done really well with them, but I don't want to move into like an Ethereum L2 or down into Cardano DeFi. I want to move into some low cap L1. So you can take the profits that you made from taking your Bitcoin, moving it into ADA or Solana or whatever, and now these profits take some of this Cardano or Solana or whatever your mid cap is and move it into some small cap L1s. My personal favorites to look at right now would be Ergo, Alephium, and I've kind of been doing some looking into Caspa, although, the one thing about it is it doesn't have smart contracts yet, which is kind of like an iffy scenario for me. But the essential third avatar is gonna have large caps, mid caps, and low caps, whether those low caps are either L1s or DeFi on your favorite L1. I think this gives you a broad investment strategy of the market, and you just got to know that when 2025 rolls around or 2026 rolls around, when the market's really cranking, make sure to take some profits and maybe even remove your initial investment of principal to kind of secure the gains that you're making along the way. If you really want to go from broke to crypto millionaire by 2025, 2026, this is the strategy that I would do. There will be people that make a ton of money on a Hail Mary meme coin or on a Hail Mary NFT or on a Hail Mary DeFi project, but it's probably not going to be you, and it's probably not going to be me. Unfortunately, I wish it was. I wish we could all do it, but the risk and the odds of it are so small. I think learning to do better financial strategy is a better plan that you can put into action. If you're making thousands and thousands of dollars on a really great strategy and you decide you want to take $100 out and put it on a random meme coin because you saw the trends and you thought it was going to do well and you saw a news article about it, that is a great thing that you can do that if you want, especially after you've made money in a smarter financial plan. So if you do the right steps, these are the three avatars I think there are. The person who's making enough money and just needs to figure out what to do with it, the person who's going for the Hail Mary, and the person who realizes the Hail Mary is not a good idea. Hopefully this sets you up to be a millionaire in the 2025 crypto bull market top explosion, and in 2026 you can get that Lambo. All right, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.